go. Oh, no, mai hoki mai anō. Welcome back to breakfast, and I'm joining you from the America's Cup race village. I've got to get that right. With me is obviously the CEO of Team New Zealand, Grant Dalton. But it's been a big morning here, actually. We've opened up the village this morning, Ngāti Whātua Ōrākei doing the karakia this morning, as well as a little bit of a ceremony to open up the village, which is going to be open right through until the end of racing in March, right?
Absolutely, until we win the America's Cup, and that'll be a big party.
Yeah, that'll be a big party. But before then, we've got racing that's coming up on Thursday. So I've been describing it as, well, it's the World Series, but I've been describing it as like a pre-season tournament. That's about right. All four teams on the water, having a bit of a race, sussing each other out before we head into the Prada Cup. Yeah,
it's important for us because it's the only opportunity we get to race in anger. And
Sorry, what does that mean?
Well, I mean, the Prada Cup is the challengers deciding a challenger to race us, and we don't race in that. So the only actual racing we will do against these challengers is this week, and then the next time we see them is at the start of the America's Cup, March 6th.
So how are you feeling? Obviously, we've got the racing that's from Thursday through to Sunday, but how are you feeling about where the team is at, given the fact that after this, you won't be racing again until March?
Well, I think we'll have a better idea of that on Sunday, obviously. And people talk about, will teams sandbag? Will they not bring their A game? They'll bring their A game to this because there's been so little racing based on COVID. You've got to bring your A game to find out where you're at. So that gives us a gauge for sure, and them of us as well. Every team feels good at this stage. By Sunday, one or two might not feel so good.
Hey, speaking of, we've been talking a little bit about the British team. Are they going to make it to the start line on Thursday?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, we get asked all the time, what do we think? And first of all, it's unfair to try and even draw any conclusions of any challenger at this stage. I mean, you are dealing with some pretty seriously impressive yachtsmen, design teams, and money in some cases. So you just you'd like to take something from it. In your quiet moments, you maybe give yourself a little counsel on it, but it's wrong too. And for us as well. I mean, we bring our A game on Thursday, but we're not at full speed because we've still got quite a while to go, and we've still got weaponry to bring on stream.
Last practice session today, what will that involve?
Yeah, yesterday we practiced, but there wasn't that much wind, so again, you didn't learn too much. But today it's not bad. It's not bad. I think 10 to 12 knots, which is probably quite important in so much as it's possible. I mean, the weather, we all know, as you know, can be what it wants to be and you can't predict. But normally around March, you get the west coast sea breeze knocks out the bay's sea breeze, and you get sort of 12 to 14 in the harbour. So today should be around that 12 knots. So you're getting a bit of a kind of feel of what the conditions might be come race time for us, March the 6th.
So if we look at today's practice session, you obviously do a debrief afterwards. How important is that? And you're obviously involved in that as well.
Yeah, I'm on the water every day. I mean, there's guys way smarter than me that debrief. I mean, I listen and I learn, actually. I learn all the time, like we all do.
Do you chip in, though?
No,
Surely.
Not so much. Well, you'd say that most people say I couldn't help myself, but no, not so much. I listen, and the guys, they got a debrief. I mean, the yachtsmen, they've got a debrief with the designers and with themselves. And if I see something that's been lurking in my brain for a little while that I see as potentially an issue, I'll chip in the background and go through the right channels. Can't help myself, but not really. The place is running really, really well. I think, and history will prove this right. I think that this is a period of dynasty a little bit for us, in the same way the All Blacks came out of 2011 and we all watched them hang on for that 1-point win, and then they went into a very dynasty period. It feels a bit like that in the team. Now that doesn't necessarily translate to winning all the test matches, but that's how the team feels. And people that sort of, Bermuda was a kind of a milestone moment for us, not only just winning, but it was a new team making decisions that they were not necessarily comfortable to make because they were empowered but kind of hadn't got the confidence there. Now all that proved to be correct, and so now they're much more empowered to make decisions and to be brave to make those decisions. So it's a very, very easy place to work in at the moment. Not to the point that it's easy, that it's so friendly with itself that it's not strong. But I think we're in a really strong position at the moment.
Now, I've been getting the wrap call, so before we do that, I do want to mention, because you've got a very cool team, and it's not just the team that's involved with the sailing, that's involved with the design, but we've had Norm hanging around. And Norm's, I just heard him. Norm's been with the team since 1999. Now, he's a little bit camera shy, but can we just flick round, Hayley, to Norm? He's disappearing. But
well,
anyway,
he's a security guard, and you're not supposed to know he's there. That's why he's hiding. He's like a spy. You don't want to be able to find him.
But you've got somebody like Norm who has been part of this team since 1999. I mean, there are a lot of good people that are doing things that we don't see because we only ever see the team.
Well, we always pride ourselves in our culture. That's our strength, and Norm's part of that culture. I mean, the America's Cup wouldn't be the same without Norm.
Norm, are you sure you don't want to just pop into shot? No, okay, yeah. I was going to steal his white gloves because he wears white gloves to look after the cup, which is obviously sitting behind us. Thank you so much for your time this morning. I feel like I should say Mr. Dalton.
Well, if you do, no one else does.
We appreciate it. I know this is a busy time, but it's also an exciting time too for the racing world, across the world, but also for us, and for us to be lucky enough to be able to do something like this, right?
Well, and TVNZ being the host broadcaster,
oh yes, I forgot about that.
That's cool for us because that's back to the future, and that's where it started before it went to pay. And that's been part of our plan to make sure that everybody could watch it, and or on a device and watch it on demand as well. So I'm in the studio that TVNZ has built. I've just been in there this morning. It's cool. So it's going to be great coverage. And with COVID to the international media, this is now unbeknown to us when we set on this free-to-air path around the world. Now it's even better for showcasing New Zealand, because right now you can't come here, as we all know.
You can do my job. I've completely forgot about us hosting, etc. But thank you for doing that, and also thank you for your time this morning. Go well Thursday, and obviously through until March. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jenny May with Grant Dalton. Thanks, Jay May. Beautiful.